I want a nice house. It's a goal. It's not a vision. And because they want a goal, they are driven by materials. Because they want a goal or they have a dream, and they consider the goals and the dreams to be vision. And you know what happened? The goals and the dreams, it ends up destroying us. I'm speaking to you and myself. Vision is different from goals. Don't make a mistake. You can have a goal, and you are calling goals visions, but they're not. They're totally different. Vision is different. Vision is completely different. So again, I want to say majority of us are really on earth with no passion for life. Because if you do, it will drive you. Like Paul says in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 22 to 28. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more. In labors, more abundant. In stripes, above measure. In prisons, more frequently. In death, often. From the Jews 5 times I received 40 straps, minus 1. He goes on to say in verse 25, 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. A night and a day I have been in the deep. In journeys often, in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils of other countrymen, in perils of the Gentiles, perils in the sea, perils in the wilderness, perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren. But listening to verses 27 and 28. In weariness and toil, in sleepless nights, and often in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and in nakedness. 28, he says, besides all the other things, what comes upon me daily, this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. What comes upon me daily, my deep concern for all the churches. Even though I'm going through all the difficulties, but my concern is for the churches. You can see how much Paul is going through. But Paul is not concerned about what he's going through. You know why? Because he has a vision. And the vision is what drives him. It's not the persecution. It is not to make name for himself that drives him. It is not to make a prestige for himself. He is not calling any attention to himself. Matter of fact, he said, my concern is for the churches. Can I ask this question? With all that Paul suffers, with everything that Paul went through, his concerns and vision is for nothing else but the churches. This is a man who truly, truly has a vision. What is is that thing that is driving you so much that even when you're going through difficult time, persecutions, it doesn't bother you? Now you know why God has you on the face of this earth. You're not whining. You're not complaining about what you're going through because you have a vision. This man, Paul, was truly called by God. His concern is not the beating, the shipwrecks, the sleepless nights. His friends, his own countrymen turned against him. They backstabbed him. They did everything to him. But his concern is for the churches, so that the churches will be well. That's a man who has a passion. That's a true man with a passion of vision. If the vision and the assignment Paul received wasn't real, do you think Paul would have gone through all those hardships? No. Paul truly realized that the vision that God gives him was true. And that's why he went through the hardships. Can I say this to you as well? What about you? Are you going through something or some things because of the vision that God has placed inside of you? And you are sitting there discouraged. And you are there saying, why me? Why can it not be you? Oh, can I tell you something else? The book of James, chapter 1, verses 2 to 4, put it this way. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But I love verse 4. And verse 4 is one of my favorites. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect. Is there anybody who wants to be perfect? You see, all that you are going through, it simply means that God is preparing you, because he gives you a vision. And that vision will have obstacles. That vision will have resistance. That vision will have things that come after you. But hear what James said. He said, all of this, but let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete. That you may be what? Perfect and complete. Lacking nothing. Lacking nothing. So all that you're going through, even in this coronavirus time, the situation that you are facing, is because God has a vision. And God is the one who is orchestrating things the way he wants to orchestrate it. And all God is allowing this to happen is so that you will be complete. God doesn't do anything halfway. Anytime God does something, he completes it. God completes things. And if God is working on you and in you, he is working on and in you to complete you. And sometimes you will have to go through the valley. Sometimes you will have to have to sleep at night. Sometimes family members and friends will have to backstab you, betray you. And all of that is to constantly work on you to complete you, so that you lack nothing. So that when the vision gives birth, you lack nothing. Is somebody hearing me? So whatever you are faced with, whatever you are going through, stop sitting there and being downcast. Wake up and say, oh, now I see God is doing something. God is truly working on me. If you want to be complete, if you want to lack nothing, then you must understand this, that every vision has a price to pay. Paul paid a price for the vision. But his passion enables him to do so because he had a passion. You see, God, Jesus Christ, had a passion for us so much that everything he went through, the passion encourages him, lifts him up to go to the cross. It was passion. No wonder why the movie people, they call the movie The Passion of Christ. Because Christ had a passion for us so much to the point that he was willing to go to the cross. Do you have a passion for God? You are passionate. You are real. If you will just stay steady under the pressure. Can I tell you this? 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58 says, therefore, my brethren, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I hope we understand. People with passion, they stand still under pressure. I say it again. People with passion, they stand still under pressure. Pressure will produce the real you. Pressure will produce the real you. Even right now, as we're going through the coronavirus and people don't have a job to go to, the pressure will show whether you truly trust God or you trust your job. This will show it. When you don't have a job, some of you are laid off right now. Will you still pray? Will you still sing the songs of Zion?
Oh, Lord.
Will you still call upon his name? Will you still say, Lord, I believe in you. I trust you. You are my Jehovah.
Amen.
Will you still praise him? I want to also again encourage you. Hebrews chapter 6 verse 10 put it this way. For God is not unjust to forget your work and your labor of love which you have shown towards his name, in that you have ministered to